Hey, and welcome to the Transition Discoveries Learning Series. This video is all about supporting young people with disabilities as they prepare for competitive integrated employment. Let's talk about a few housekeeping items before we get started. First, this video is designed to be interactive. That means that you'll pause and practice during different parts of this video in order to reflect on content and practice new skills. After each pause, we'll continue with new content. The time points of these pauses are listed for you in the video description in case you have to start over at any point. All practice activities are going to be done within a worksheet that you'll need to download from Schoology and then upload once you're finished. Finally, we recommend pausing the video if you need more time to engage with any of the graphics or text content shown throughout this lecture. In this video, we'll start off by unpacking evidence-based instructional and transition planning approaches for supporting career exploration. This includes career development classes, career clubs, and the discovery process. Then, we'll talk about evidence-based models for practice in terms of supporting career readiness training and preparation, particularly ways such as CTE, which is designed to link efforts at the secondary and post-secondary levels between schools, agencies, and community partners. We'll finish off our learning with a discussion about the partnerships and collaborations required to implement evidence-based practices and models for career preparation. Employment preparation is the sum of many parts. In fact, there are 13 sub-indicators. These indicators are interrelated but can be thought of as clusters representing specific levels of a process that leads to competitive integrated employment. We begin with career exploration driven by the discovery process, as well as instruction and learning opportunities such as career development classes and career clubs. Together, these efforts build a student's knowledge about their strengths, disability, and goals in relation to the requirements and expectations of different careers. Work experiences should then be provided so that students have out-of-school opportunities to continue learning about the requirements and expectations of different jobs and career pathways. As students move into work-based learning experiences, job coaching and on-the-job training are options for supporting a student's soft and occupational specific skills, which then supports a transition from career awareness development to career readiness training. Supporting these learning opportunities for building both career awareness and career readiness skills requires collaboration between schools, agencies, and community partners such as post-secondary education and employers. Finally, career and technical education is a model that draws upon these many moving parts to establish what a program of study is, how it is developed through partnerships at the secondary and post-secondary level, and the sequential development of skills, knowledge, and credentials needed to obtain competitive integrated employment. Let's take a closer look at supporting career readiness. Career readiness should begin with the discovery process so that stakeholders and families collaborate with students in a way that everyone on the transition planning team learns about the student's strengths, preferences, and needs in relation to their post-secondary goals. And these post-secondary goals are according to youth and those that they feel know them best across different life contexts such as school, work, and in the community. We'll talk about the steps of the discovery process in detail a little bit later on in this video. With this student profile built out, the next phase is ensuring that students are building awareness about different career pathways, the jobs within them, and the requirements for obtaining those specific jobs. This better equips them for a course of study where students develop soft skills, self-management skills, job-seeking skills such as job searching, resume building, and interviewing, and occupation-specific skills through direct and community-based instruction alongside work-based learning experiences. Career awareness is the first step in the process of entering a career pathway. Supporting career awareness begins with resources, policies, and training to ensure that schools have the knowledge, skills, and resources about career instruction that they need to support young people. Resources might include guides on evidence-based practices for supporting career awareness, professional development on developing learning experiences that align with both state core and career preparation standards, and then ongoing mentorship through school-based communities of practice that are focused on career awareness instruction. Career awareness has a greater impact when it includes experiential learning where students can learn about the requirements, expectations, and benefits of different jobs. This often means that not everything can happen inside the school, or that if it does, educators will also need to have the experience and knowledge to provide this career information to their students. So this is where partnerships between schools, agencies, and community partners such as employers and providers will come into play. If we think of these two as the first and second gears, then getting into third gear involves using student-centered assessments that help them to learn about their strengths, disabilities, and preferences, and then working with them to understand how the responsibilities, requirements, and expectations of different jobs align with these. And this leads to them increasing their knowledge that will then inform their forthcoming decisions about career pathways. All right, so now we're picking up speed. In fourth gear, it's all about using evidence-based practices for supporting self-determination skill development. Students need instruction and support on building their capacity for informed decision-making based upon this self-knowledge in relation to real-world needs and expectations. On our way to reaching top speed, we employ student-led transition planning in collaboration with students, families, and stakeholders now that students know about careers themselves and have the skills to make informed decisions. In final gear, we design and implement a program of study with the student and family based upon these decisions. We'll dig way deeper into each one of these steps and define the particulars of those decisions about career preparation experiences, supports, and training a little bit later on in this video. Building student awareness and readiness for career pathways that align with their strengths, needs, preferences, and post-secondary goals end up being equal parts experience and instruction. The most effective strategies integrate both simultaneously. This is where career development classes often come in. Career development classes require curriculum to be aligned with state and career standards and include learning experiences in the school and in the community that build a student's soft skills, self-management skills, and knowledge of career pathways, including relevant jobs and how to attain them. So that could be education, training, or credentials. Designing curriculum for each course should include the use of technology skills, 21st century skills, right? And employment skills for a wide variety of occupational clusters in order to provide students with course choices that match their preferences, interests, and needs. All instruction should incorporate universal design for learning principles, as well as differentiated instruction and supports for social skills, which could be interpersonal, conversational, negotiation, and conflict, or maybe group skills in different contexts, as well as study skills, organizational skills, personal management or time management skills as well. And in defining and providing these experiences, the IEP team needs to support from school leadership for building partnerships with agencies, community partners, and employers. So this is really critical, and in doing so, the school and agencies and community partners can ensure that curriculum is aligned with a sequence of knowledge and skill-building milestones that then align with career pathway requirements. In addition, community-based instruction for developing career awareness is only possible when schools have partnerships with businesses that allow for opportunities such as mock interviews, job shadowing, internships, and career fairs. Career clubs can be part of a career development class curriculum or an extracurricular opportunity. They are a way of supporting students as they build their awareness about different career pathways, the jobs within them, and the requirements for obtaining those specific jobs. Career clubs are focused on learning more and developing connections to a specific career pathway, student-led, student-focused, and meet on a regular basis. They include employers, professional organizations, chambers of commerce, and other community partners collaborating with schools and agencies. They involve school districts and schools allocating sufficient resources to supporting meaningful community-based experiences. They build around group skill-building opportunities and activities that are usually focused on preparing job applications, resumes, cover letters, interviews, and they link up with support that allows for school-wide opportunities for learning about various careers. So that could be job shadowing, internships, guest speakers, and industry tours. And those links between the school, employers, and agencies become really key for developing those specific opportunities. Remember when I mentioned the discovery process as being one of the first steps in supporting a student's career readiness? Let's take some time to unpack this approach to transition planning and talk about what it looks like. So in collaboration with students, families, peers, school staff, agency staff, employers, and community partners, school staff, typically one or two leads on an IEP team, will use interviews, observation, and a review of a student's records in order to build a complete picture of a student's interests, support needs, successful support strategies, and performance in various activities, as well as their family connections. Those educators leading the process will meet with and interview people identified by the student and families as knowing the student best. So this can be other educators, family members, friends, and community members. This data is also supplemented with age-appropriate informal and formal assessment, as well as a records review, which might include academic, their IEP, agency, or service provider records. Importantly, the leads of this process are going to employ real-world observations where they spend time with a young person in the community as they participate in daily and weekly routines, which might be at school, work, leisure, shopping. And the goal is to conduct direct observation to learn more about their strengths, preferences, and needs across these contexts. It's important to gather information on how the social and physical environments support and challenge a student's success. So we typically call this like an ecological assessment. Together, these multiple sources of data are used to create an in-depth profile of a student's skills, knowledge, goals, daily and weekly routines, responsibilities and challenges, as well as their relationships and associations, which might be friendships or community connections at school, home, work, and in the community. And when we do this, this helps us to understand what students do well and what environments do well for them. And through this, we also learn what students can improve on and what can be improved on in environments to better support students in reaching their goals for a desired level of independence related to their career readiness and preparation. And in the end, this results in student-centered transition goals, identifying options for skill building, supports, modifications, and connections within and outside of schools that both prepare them to reach their goals and to improve their skills and knowledge in these post-secondary work environments. And finally, it results in gathering information to inform goals that will ultimately inform their program of study, not just in high school, but at the post-secondary level as well and beyond. All right, it's time to talk about evidence-based practices and models for supporting career preparation. Here is where career awareness evolves into practicing skills and developing knowledge needed to enter a specific career pathway. Career and technical education is a course of study designed to prepare students with the core academic, employability, and technical job-specific skills required to obtain high-paying, career track positions in in-demand fields. CTE incorporates challenging, state-identified academic standards into lessons for building technical knowledge as well as employability skills. CTE follows a sequential model that progresses in content specificity and includes multiple entry and exit points that allow for initial and advanced credentialing, certificates, or degrees. Fundamental to CTE are links between secondary and post-secondary education through opportunities for students to earn credits while in high school that seamlessly transfer to college programs in their career cluster. In a CTE model, students might begin by exploring one or more of the 16 career clusters, which might be agricultural, food and natural resources, finance, information technology, to name a few. And the purpose of this is to learn about different jobs within them, how to obtain them, and how those jobs align with their own goals, strengths, preferences, and needs. As we know, there are foundational knowledge and skills that individuals need to begin many entry-level positions in a field. This is where career readiness training begins for CTE. This leads them to both the ability to obtain a certificate for entry-level positions in a career cluster, which, for example, could be information technology as a cluster, and then for them to continue their course of study with a focus on gaining credentials needed for obtaining higher-level specialized positions within a specific pathway. So let's say they're in a IT career cluster, and they might continue down a pathway of network systems where they emphasize learning on installation, administration, and design of IT systems. Importantly, while students are still in high school, the course of study should lead to the ability to apply accumulated credits and field-based experience toward the completion of a 4-year or advanced degree within that pathway, and this often happens through credit transfer agreements between high schools and post-secondary education systems. The program of study must be coordinated with a broader career pathway system as defined by the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act in a way that supports stacking of credentials over time as students progress through a post-secondary training program of study that leads to competitive integrated employment. The model of a program of study is specifically defined and required as part of CTE through the Perkins 5. It provides us with a great deal of guidance on how career awareness and exploration and curriculum for developing academic and job-related skills can be aligned between high schools and post-secondary training in order to support pathways towards competitive integrated employment. In a program of study, curriculum and instruction in high school are aligned to the relevant career readiness standards and prerequisite knowledge or skills for career pathways that students are interested in pursuing. Assessments also need to inform students on their progress toward meeting career requirements by providing objective information of their attainment of industry-validated technical knowledge, employability skills, and relevant academic knowledge. Importantly, all students should have the opportunity to receive additional academic support and coaching while still in high school so that they can meet the academic expectations of post-secondary training programs and careers that they'll need in order to obtain credentials for their pathway of interest. When all curriculum, instruction, and assessments are aligned to the prerequisites of post-secondary training programs and credentials, this continuity allows for credit transfer agreements in pre-college programs so that students can simultaneously earn prerequisite credits towards specific programs that train them for a specific field while also completing their secondary studies or high school studies. Importantly, learning in class while in high school needs to be extended into real-world environments through paid and unpaid work-based learning experiences such as job shadowing, internships, and apprenticeship. Instruction should continue in these spaces through ongoing on-the-job training and job coaching when necessary. However, we know that creating a course of study doesn't end with building bridges to community-based learning experiences at the high school level and aligning curriculum, instruction, and assessment to the requirements and expectations of particular career pathways. We also need to support students in setting their post-secondary training goals that help them to identify the pathways that are right for them and help them navigate those pathways successfully in order to enter a specific field. While this alignment of programmatic components is necessary for creating career track options, person-centered planning is the driving force that supports ongoing learning experiences in the school and community that build a student's ability to set post-secondary training goals and make a plan to achieve them. All right, so how can we build this bridge between high school and post-secondary career preparation that in the end leads to competitive integrated employment? The main answer is partnerships. So let's talk about those. Partnerships between schools, universities, OVR, and employers are key factors in successful programs of study that begin by building a student's self-awareness and include both career exploration and the development of career readiness skills, all while aligning curriculum, instruction, and assessment in ways that ensure that students are prepared to meet the requirements of a specific career pathway. Supporting a student's self-awareness is often accomplished through a person-centered approach to transition planning, specifically student-led IEPs in conjunction with age-appropriate transition assessments. Models like the self-determined learning model of instruction are also important components of supporting a student's knowledge about their disability, strengths, needs, preferences, and goals. University centers on transition can provide professional development, training, and resources on implementing some of these evidence-based practices. Under pre-employment transition services, OVR and local providers are able to expand and enrich these ongoing efforts by providing students with additional instruction and counseling on self-advocacy and post-secondary goal setting above and beyond what is provided in a school's core curriculum or programs. This might be one-on-one, and it also might happen in group sessions. In the same light, while schools are working to embed career exploration into the general curriculum, partnerships between OVR, employers, and schools can support in-school and extracurricular activities such as the creation of industry-specific career clubs. As part of PREETs, OVR can provide job exploration counseling to support student knowledge of careers and how to enter them. As schools work to integrate the use of informal and formal transition assessments into their curriculum, instruction, and design courses for building occupation-specific skills while aligning their core curriculum with the knowledge and skills of different fields, OVR can also support this ongoing school-based effort with workplace readiness training and additional in-school learning opportunities. Partnerships with employers, OVR, and schools can focus on establishing work sites, which leads to opportunities for students to participate in paid and unpaid work-based learning experiences so that they can build their soft skills, self-management strategies, and occupation-specific knowledge or skills within real-world situations. This serves to extend learning beyond the classroom. And not only can universities be places for paid and unpaid work-based learning experiences, they can also partner with schools to establish credit transfer programs and pre-college programs as part of comprehensive technical education. This ensures that students are able to work toward post-secondary credentials and degrees for a specific occupation while still enrolled in high school. Collaboration between employers, OVR, and universities can result in feedback loops that help to align school-based curriculum, instruction, and assessments to post-secondary training and industry-specific prerequisites or requirements. At the same time, this collaboration supports pre-ETs being strongly aligned to industry requirements as well as the needs of students in a way that supplements the core curriculum with additional and in keeping with the goal of a program of study, increasingly more advanced skill building and knowledge development opportunities that are aligned towards career requirements and prerequisites. All right, so take some time and reflect and complete these questions. Draw upon what you've learned in this video and your professional experiences, and once you've completed this worksheet, you'll be done with this video lecture.